Power right now across Middle Tennessee. Almost 200,000 power outages alone within NES. And that's what we're showing you live right now on your screen. And we have many other people around Middle Tennessee and Southern Kentucky without heat right now, or without a way to do a whole lot of anything because the power is out and could be for a prolonged period. Do want to say good morning to you and thank you for joining us again for this special edition of Fox 17 News this morning. I'm Jennifer Waddell. We were live for you earlier this morning until our station took a power hit, and we tried to stay on, but we had a couple of technical difficulties. We're now back and ready to go for you. We have crews all around Middle Tennessee. If you were joining us live on our Fox Facebook page, you were able to watch some of the behind the scenes live reporting as we were in the dark here in the studio. But we're glad to be back with you now, and we're going to get you updated on everything that's happened since about 2 hours ago. Fox 17 News reporters all around Middle Tennessee. We've got our Fox 17 Code Red meteorologist Brett Luna here to get you updated on the most recent track of the forecast.
Yeah, so we're going to look at all the rain and freezing rain that we're looking at on radar here in just a second. But we still have these winter storm warnings and winter weather advisories that are still in effect for a lot of Middle Tennessee and Southern Kentucky. And it's that area in the southwestern part of Middle Tennessee, areas like Decatur County, Perry County, Wayne County, some of those spots in that ice storm warning until 6 p.m. Some significant icing that we've seen down there, and we're still seeing some of that in other parts of Middle Tennessee right here too. Davidson County, one of those with all those power outages. Okay, so got no monitors to my side, so we're just going to keep everything right here. Still seeing that rain going on around the plateau. None of that is causing any sort of, some of that could be causing some issues. Let me take that back. Freezing rain is going to be for areas mainly along and west of Interstate at 65. And then all that blue that you're seeing well to the north of here, that is going to be that snow that is coming on. So thank you, Darren, for getting that back up. So radar is still going on the plateau, rain still going on the plateau over here. This is going to be for everybody that's seeing that shade of green right there. This is going to be for areas like Cookeville, Crossville. Could just be seeing regular rain right now. And then areas back to the west of here around Nashville, we could be seeing some of that freezing rain going on still. We have temperatures at 31 degrees now. Just a little bit ago, we were at 33. So our temperatures aren't going to be going up from here. They're just going to be going down as we go through the rest of the day. And you can see already what it's doing in our northwestern areas. Temperatures have already fallen to the upper teens. 21 in Clarksville, 31 in Nashville. Still have temperatures just a little bit above freezing over here on the plateau. Mid-30s, Tullahoma, McMinnville, 34 in Cookeville, and 40 degrees, definitely the warmest spot right now over in Crossville. But all those areas on the plateau that have temperatures above freezing, this is actually falling as rain. Areas back further to the west could be falling as a freezing rain. This is kind of going to be a battle zone right here in the midsection of Middle Tennessee on where we get that freezing rain, and we'll continue to keep you updated on this. We'll take a look at radar and everything else, and time at when this finally comes to an end coming up here in just a bit. Also, we want to send things out to Johnny. He's down in Murfreesboro. He's going to be giving us some updates from down there. Johnny, what are you seeing?
Hey, good morning, Brett. Glad the power's back on at the studio for you guys. Glad the lights are on. The lights are on here inside Murfreesboro Public Works as well. Definitely raining outside, definitely messy outside. But Raymond Hillis joins us now. Thanks for having us this morning. Executive Director of Public Works here. Your crew's doing a great job given the circumstances. Can you talk about the plan? You said there was a change of plan even.
Yeah, absolutely. So, we started Friday, 5 a.m. We came in with a game plan just to remove the snow and ice. And so this morning, when I came back in, we changed game plans just a little bit. So we're concentrating today on just getting the slush out of the streets. So we went back to our main routes, and we want to get all that slush, get the drains open back up, because with all this rain, we start seeing it puddling up, and we're worried about the refreeze tonight. So that was kind of how we shifted game plans. And while we were doing that this morning, the trees started falling. So the rain came in, started collecting on the limbs and power lines. And so I think we've got about 15 calls so far for down trees. So the public probably needs to know what we usually do in that situation is we just cut those trees in small and in larger sections, and we'll push them out of the street. And when the weather fares, we come back and we'll saw them up and haul them out. So
definitely. So the main roads, right? You're trying to get that slush off because the water, this rain needs a place to go. If there's not a lot of, if there's a side road or something that you guys might not get to tonight, people can expect those to be frozen tomorrow.
Absolutely, yeah. That water's going to refreeze tonight, most definitely. So, yeah, we'll try to get to as many into them as we can. But, there's a lot of secondary roads we can't get to. So those drains will be covered up, even if it's trying to melt, and when it will refreeze, most likely. So,
and then as we get into those single digits, overnight Monday, overnight Tuesday, how do you go from here?
Yeah, so we do our best tonight. I got another crew coming back in tonight. We'll just keep working, trying to open those drains up, and then when it does refreeze, we'll keep treating it. We'll keep making our cycles, keep putting salt down, hoping that it'll thaw out as quick as it can, and then we'll come back and clean up whatever damage has been done.
And then one other note we were talking about, last question here, then we got to get it back quickly. If the power lines are heavy, they are. Yes. If the trees are heavy, yes. Don't go near them.
Don't go near them. Stay away. Stay away. Stay home. That's probably one of the most dangerous things right now.
Definitely. So. Raymond, you've been here for more than 30 years. This is a crazy one out there. Thanks for your crews as well for trying to clean everything up. Stay safe out there, everyone. We're going to be checking in outside in Murfreesboro, actually show you the elements when we come back. Jen, back to you.
Johnny, thank you so very much. We appreciate all the hard work out there in Murfreesboro. Now let's bring it back closer to home in Nashville with Fox 17 News reporter Chris Knowles. Chris has been checking out the damage from the ice that's been hitting the city hard. He was earlier this morning over near Opry Mills telling us he could hear the trees snapping in the background. Chris, I was just checking with NES, and we now have more than 200,000 NES customers without power. Tell us exactly where you are and what you're experiencing.
Hey, Jen. Yeah, right now I'm standing off of Cottage Lane. This is not about 2 miles away from Opry Mills in the Donaldson area. Right now, what you're seeing is Operation Clear the Road, and they're getting a bit creative. They have this Chevy here tied up to the tree, and they've pulled it out of the road. This is where it was at, so they pulled it out the road. But if we zoom ahead even further down this road on Cottage Lane, this is just off of Lebanon Pike, you can see there's another tree limb in the road. And so there are numerous branches, limbs, and even some uprooted trees all throughout this community. And I have with me right now one of the gentlemen that stayed is right here. Now, you tell me you saw where you were woken up.
Yeah.
A tree woke you up.
Yeah. No.
And you said it never stopped.
Yeah, this branch here woke me up at 4:30 in the morning, and like ever since then, every 10 or so minutes, there's another big limb falling or making a crash. And then that was accompanied by it looked like lightning in the sky, but it was actually just a bunch of transformers blowing up. So yeah, it's kind of crazy.
How would you describe? Was it scary, alarming?
I was a little scared. I was just, thinking ahead to like, okay, when I lose power, what am I going to do? How long will I have hot water? Things like that, But I have confidence, obviously, in our community that we'll all come together and make things okay. And, we got each other. That's all that matters.
All right. Well, you heard it right there. And they're working again to try to get some of these limbs out the way. This has been somewhat successful. They've tied a rope up to this and pulled it out so it can clear this road up some, but there are so many more, Jennifer. Even on Lebanon Pike, when we were driving over, there were about 4 trees covering half of the road, and one is pretty much leaning down right there to the road. And I'll also tell you, we did an interview earlier. If you stay tuned, we will have that video. We were doing an interview where a tree fell in front of this gentleman's house, and another branch literally started falling where we were at. So we had to run and get out of the way. You will hear that and be able to watch that video if you stay tuned, and we'll keep you updated with the latest. Reporting live here in Donaldson, I'm Chris Knowles, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Fox 17, steer clear traffic. It has been nonstop for the past 3 days or so as we've been dealing with these icy and foggy conditions. Here's a live look for you. I-24 East towards the Solomon Evans Bridge. We had a heyday in this East Bank area yesterday due to accidents. That continues today with these really slick on and off ramps and outside shoulders. So even if the main lanes of the interstate look pretty good, you could still easily slip into some of that ice on the outside shoulder. Does not take much ice at all to cause a spin out, and we've seen quite a few over the past few days. So please be mindful of that and stay home if you can. I know a lot of you are probably getting stir crazy, but it's just not safe out there, even on those main roadways. We've got another breakdown on I-40 West at I-24. Here's a live look for you out in Dixon County. This is I-40, pretty close to 840. You can see crews have been working on those center lanes of of traffic, but boy, is it narrow. We have a lot of semis that travel through this area, so again, travel still not safe on those roads, especially in our outside counties.
Lindsay, thank you so much. It is 10:10 right now, and just in, Fox 17 News has learned that WeGo Transit, that's the public transportation for Nashville, is shutting down operations across the city. It is just that dangerous. Now, here's the latest, and I'm going to quote a statement from WeGo. They say, due to severe weather conditions, WeGo Public Transit is putting all service on hold until further notice, effective 7:45 a.m. Sunday through through the day Sunday, and then they'll reassess as we get into tomorrow. They say they're going to access and reassess all their, activities, all of their routes, and what they can or cannot do. WeGo says the weather is really causing havoc, mainly with their communication infrastructure that they need to communicate with the buses, not to mention the danger on the roads. So crews, we understand, are working to fix that situation. WeGo's representative says they are trying to get back to their snow route service just as soon as possible. And Sunday, of course, following our winter weather coverage this morning, we will be here for you this afternoon. We've got plans for you later this afternoon at 4 p.m. and then at 10:30. Make sure you stay here to Fox 17 News. We've got you covered on air, plus online. We have streaming at YouTube. We have updates at fox17.com. So we've got you covered on all the platforms. And that's really important now, especially if you have power now, but you don't later, right? And one of the ways that you can stay informed is through a tablet. You can stream us. You can get updates on your cell phone as well. Well, still to come, we're going to be tracking the latest on the road conditions, the power outages, and the weather. What's it going to do over the next 24 to 48 hours? We've got you covered to let you know. This is a live look on Lower Broadway right now. We're going to be checking out Franklin. We'll check out Clarksville coming up here in just a couple of moments. Stay with us for this special Fox 17 News Code Red weather coverage.
This is a Fox 17 News Code Red Weather Special Edition, sponsored by Sarah Chevrolet, Bart Durham Injury Law, and Frontier Foundation.
Welcome back into this Fox 17 Code Red Weather Alert and a special edition of Fox 17 News this morning here on your Sunday. Brett and I have been talking for hours now this morning.
It's been a long time.
We came in so early, and if you missed it earlier this morning, the power outage in Nashville knocked us off air for a little bit, but here we are, we're back. I want to really quickly remind you that if you have great pictures or video,
definitely,
we would love to see it as long as you can get that safely. So if you've got a great snapshot or some good video, head to fox17.com and then choose chime in on the drop down menu, and then we'll get your best shots on the air.
Yeah, and do it safely like Jen was saying, because we have trees falling down all over the place. You just step outside and you just hear the cracks and then the boom of the tree just coming down. Right when I walked outside earlier today, just happened to boom, catch one right on video falling onto a building. But yeah, trees coming down a lot of places here across Middle Tennessee. That's coming down on some power lines too. So we are looking at still major power outages going on. We'll show you some more on these power outage numbers coming up here in just a little bit. But we are in this Fox 17 17 code red alert, obviously. This is going to extend through today, and then we'll probably have to extend this on into the next couple of days too, because it is going to get bitterly cold. Major travel impacts expected, and then power outages still obviously going to be an issue. Travel, just not going to advise any of that. On the heels of that, though, we have colder air that's moving in. We have a cold weather advisory that's now in effect for from midnight tonight until Tuesday. It's going to get really cold. Wind chill values are going to go about 0 to 10 degrees below zero. Just showing you our future temps as we go through the next several hours. Temperatures should be in the teens for most spots by the overnight hours tonight. I want to show you what radar is looking like right now too. We have cooled down in our western areas, so any of the precip that's falling, it should be staying as snow all the way through for our extreme northwestern areas, everybody in that shade of blue. All of these areas in pink, this is coming down as a snowflake, and then it's melting in the mid-levels before it gets down to the surface, and we could be seeing some freezing rain and still mixing in a lot of these areas where we have the pink color on the radar. This is the current radar image at 10:15, and then over here on the plateau, it's all green right there, so we're looking at some rain showers going on there, and this is the reason why. Temperatures are just above freezing, mid-30s over here in that area, but you can see that cold air is starting to advance across Middle Tennessee. Temperature at 31 right now in Nashville, and it's only going to get colder as we go through the rest of the day. As far as what the precip is going to do, so the winter precip will still fall up in our northwestern counties, should be falling as snowfall. This is the noon picture right here. Still a chance for some freezing rain right here in Nashville, and then fast forward that another couple hours or so, showers are going to be possible still along the plateau. Temperatures just barely hanging above freezing, but then back west of that, you can see these temperatures down in the low to mid 20s. This is 2 p.m. So here in 4 hours or so from right now, still seeing temperatures in the lower 20s right here with the precip still falling. Could still be seeing a little bit of light freezing rain at that point. And then by later on this afternoon, all that finally clears on out of here. And then everything should just kind of calm down and quiet down as we go through the next while after that. We'll get that 7-day forecast up for you really quickly too, if we can, right here, and just show you that cold air that is on the way. We're going to have temperatures dropping down to 2 degrees Monday night.
Fox 17, steer clear traffic with a live look for you on the roads down pretty close to Franklin. Conditions on 840 still in really bad shape this morning. This is 840 pretty close by to Columbia Avenue. You can see we just have about one lane that's been plowed in each direction. The rest of those outside shoulders and lanes are still covered in snow and ice on 840, and that's what most of 840 looks like as long with our secondary roads. Here's a live look for you now on the north side of town. This is 65 at Bethel Road. Conditions here, at least in that center lane, look like they're moving through pretty well, but we do have a major closure that just popped up within the past 30 minutes or so. That's a tree that's completely down on 65 South in Robertson County, pretty close to Route 76, mile marker 108.
You know what, Lindsay? I was just texting with a couple of people a minute ago who they were asking if it's okay to get out on the roads. And I was saying, okay, the road might be clear, but at this point, the concern is for trees dropping. And you mentioning that tree, which is now across I-65 in Robertson County, is exactly what I was just texting with somebody about. So yeah, folks, I know you might look at some of these cameras, and we've got one pulled up here for you. This is a live look at one of our traffic cameras in Clarksville. The roads might not look that bad, but the threat of these trees that are just dropping, one after one is the real concern here. In Clarksville, we understand they've already responded to 16 crashes. That was just from the morning to the afternoon yesterday. This camera is at Terminal Drive and Wilma Rudolph Boulevard. Icicles have formed in front of it, and thank goodness we don't see a lot of traffic here at all anyhow. So best advice right now, even if you are watching us or you're looking at other things on social media and the roads might look okay, just know that's not the biggest concern right now. It is the threat of power line snapping. We have seen some stoplight intersections snap and those trees dropping. So please consider that your warning. And just taking a second here to reset and recover for you. It is 10:19. And we do want to say good morning. It is a special edition of Fox 17 News this morning. We've got crews all over Middle Tennessee to get you firsthand accounts of what's happening. And we know TDOT is working right now in overdrive, trying to clear debris out there on the main roads. And the TDOT cameras are showing us kind of, what they're up against. So let's see if we can pull something up here. What do we have? This is Franklin. So I love this camera. This is right in the heart of the downtown Franklin Square. Again, roads look okay here, but there's ice that has formed on top of snow, and the weight of that ice is going to be a concern both for, businesses like what we're seeing here in the square, but also for homes, power lines, and the trees and infrastructure. Williamson County EMA is now telling us they have had several transformer failures. So if you are waking up with us right now and you're in Williamson County and you've heard what sounds like big booms, it could either be a tree dropping or it may be a transformer blowing. Again, EMA in Williamson County confirms they've had several fail. Trees have fallen onto rooftops. We've got ice-covered trees that are hanging over some of the roads as well. So that word of warning is not just for Nashville. It's not just for Robertson County, where we mentioned the tree across I-65. It's for our entire viewing area. And unfortunately, we are bracing for the worst still to come. It is going to get colder as we go through the day. In fact, if you have been outside and you've thought, oh man, it's not that cold. It's about 33 last time I checked with Brett. It's going to get colder. Down in the 20s this afternoon and then in the teens overnight. So maybe a little bit more precipitation, but it's that cold, that deep cold that has a lot of our first responders and of course our meteorologists concerned. And we are following more breaking news this morning as we have our crews around the town. We're going to head back out to Fox 17 News reporter Johnny Maffey. He's live in Murfreesboro. I'm going to warn you, yes, you're seeing what we're seeing. It looks like Johnny's camera might be starting to fog up a little bit. He's been going in and out. So bear with us here during this live shot. We want to listen to what Johnny has to say. I know you're talking about the road conditions there in Rutherford County.
Yeah, you guys can't see my pretty face too well here, Jen, but this isn't going to be the most visual live shot. That's because we were just inside talking to the Murfreesboro Director of Public Works. He said they have about 15 trees down over here. The power outages here in Murfreesboro, not as bad as what's going on in Nashville, but the numbers are trickling up for Middle Tennessee Electric. If you can see the roads, I can tell you, tell you, the main roads, they're passable. You need to take it slow, though, because where there's slush, there's heavy puddles, and those puddles are going to keep freezing. What the Murfreesboro Director of Public Works, Raymond Hill, has said was, as things progress throughout the day, his crews are going back to the main roads, so be careful on those side roads because they need to focus on getting the puddles off, getting the drains clear over here. We're going to check back in when our camera gets a little bit better. You guys got to see me at some point. It's TV, right? But be careful out there. It's just rain right now. Power lines are heavy, though. Tree limbs are heavy. Jen, we'll send it back to you.
Johnny, thank you so much. And right now we have new pictures coming into us from Lebanon Police. Let's pull these up. We'll get a look here and see how much ice is accumulated on some of the street signs and the trees there. These are gorgeous photos. Whoever is out there snapping these shots for Lebanon Police, kudos to you. Police there in Lebanon tell us that as of about an hour ago, they didn't have any major outages reported in Wilson County. I can tell you, though, that Wilson County is, for the most part, covered by Middle Tennessee Electric. And I'm looking at the Middle Tennessee Electric outage report right now, and I am actually starting to see some power outages in that area. It looks like right now for Middle Tennessee Electric, they've got about 12,000 outages, and I can see, probably 2,000 in Mount Juliet, and while we're looking at these pictures, I'm actually looking at the power outage map here. I would say in the Lebanon area, maybe just a couple hundred. So more outages in Mount Juliet in Wilson County versus Lebanon, Wilson County, and most of those outages in Lebanon are north of I-40. If you're waking up with us right now in Wilson County, good morning to you, whether you're watching us live on your TV or streaming on your favorite device. Just wanted to keep you updated there. Our power crews are working hard, folks. They're going to try to get you back online as soon as possible. The best way you can help them do that is to stay home and stay off the roads. Still to come on Fox 17 News this morning, we're going to take you to Franklin, where we found out trees have toppled there and are blocking roads. Mentioned it just a moment ago. They've had several transformers that have failed in Williamson County. So we'll check that out and fill you in on the impacted areas.
And we're going to take another look at our radar right now. Things are really starting to cool down up in our far northwestern areas. So now we're looking at all blue up here. That's indicating that we have some snow still falling now in our far northwestern areas. So areas like Hopkinsville, even parts of Henry County, you could be seeing some of that snow, Stewart County as well. And then we have all this pink right here. This is more than likely some freezing rain. And then over here on our eastern areas, along the plateau mainly, all that is still green on the radar. So we're still looking at some of the showers going on over there near the plateau areas like Cookeville and Crossville, and here's why. Temperatures are just warming up. We are just barely above freezing. Cookeville, McMinnville, Murfreesboro, and Tullahoma all in the mid-30s, 34 degrees in those spots. Crossville, the warmest spot on the map, 39 degrees. We are cooling down up there in our northwestern spots. 18 in Hopkinsville, 21 in Clarksville. We're at 31 degrees now in Nashville. So it's getting colder. That cold air is moving. You can see it advancing. We're going to have temperatures in the 20s by the time we get to the early part of the afternoon right here in Nashville. 18 degrees, your temperature by 10 p.m. and things just get colder as we go through the rest of the night. Here's our power outage detector map, and we are still seeing Davidson County lit up right there in that purple color. A lot of power outages still here in Davidson County, Williamson County. Still seeing some power outages as well. We're going to walk you through what the next few days are looking like with these temperatures coming up here in just a bit.
Fox 17, steer clear traffic with a live look for you back on the north side of town, pretty close to Robertson County. I-65 at Bethel Road looks pretty calm and quiet from this camera shot, but we do have a road closure in place due to a tree that is completely covering 65 south around Highway 76. That is mile marker 108. So even if the roads look clear and they've been plowed, treated, salted, all of that, we are still watching the threat of a lot of trees and debris falling down due to that heavy ice that's accumulating on a lot of those branches, and we've been seeing that for the past few hours really across Middle Tennessee.
Lindsay, thank you so much. Well, we were in Franklin just a couple of minutes ago. We want to go back there now because city leaders in Franklin are reporting several road closures right now. You know, Lindsay's got you covered with a lot of the traffic, but here's what we know right now as it pertains to power lines and trees that are down in Franklin. We got some visuals to go here with it. So we want to talk about just between Columbia and Adams. We have North Royal Oaks at Freedom Drive. We have Lewisburg Pike just north of Mac Hatcher. Those are the three main closures that we have right now. And the picture that you see here on your screen is the reason why. I've mentioned it for the last 20 minutes or so, but what we're starting to see here is the cumulative effect of the ice and these trees that are just snapping across some of our main roads. Williamson County EMA says this picture is from Goose Creek Bypass. We understand the city of Franklin has urban forestry and street crews responding right now. So they're getting everybody dispatched as quickly as they can to get these cleared. We understand that Tennessee Electric crews are also on the job. So as it pertains to Williamson County, this is south of Nashville in case you're new to the area. Williamson County, south of Nashville, their EMA reminding everybody, do not call 911 to report a power outage. If your power is out, you need to call your power company. If you have power lines down, or if you have a tree that is snapped into power lines, call them both, right? Don't call 911 for a power outage, call the power company. If you've got trees down on lines or lines down, you call 911 and the power company. Still to come here on Fox 17 News this morning, we're going to talk with Nashville International Airport's president about the situation right now over at BNA. We've got flight delays, cancellations, and just overall infrastructure concerns as it pertains to the airport. So we'll get into that and the impact to travelers. Stay with us for Fox 17 News this morning.
This is a Fox 17 News Code Red Weather Special Edition, sponsored by Sarah Chevrolet, Bart Durham Injury Law, and Frontier Foundation.
A very good Sunday morning to you. Hope you are able to stay home, that you are safe, and that you are dry. Our Fox 17 Code Red Alert continues as we now have icy conditions, making today, tomorrow, and maybe even Tuesday really difficult, folks. I know some of you might have seen the rain coming down this morning and thought, oh, good, we've got a break. It's raining. No, unfortunately, the rain is causing even bigger problems because it's freezing on contact. We've got some video to share with you now. A lot of our crews have been out there working those roads across the mid-state and southern Kentucky. This is video from the Montgomery County Highway Department as they were clearing some of that initial snow. And we now know this morning that the snow has made way to sleet and rain and freezing rain, which means we are in for an almost more dangerous situation both today and tomorrow. So we don't want you to be scared. We want you to be prepared. It's why we're here for you with this Code Red Weather Alert. We have live team coverage around Nashville. We are live in Murfreesboro this morning as well. And we've got our Fox 17 Code Red meteorologist, Brett Luna. We're tracking it all for you. We're going to start this half hour with Brett.
And hey, Jen, we woke up to quite a bit of freezing rain going on right here across Middle Tennessee. I know on my way to work this morning, had to have the defrosters cranking full blast, also scraped the windshield for a long time, and you just have to just chisel away at it. It was so thick, and that's what coated the power lines, and that's why we're left with so many power outages. Also, all the trees that were coated with ice that have been coming down on top of the power lines, just leaving us with a lot of power outages. Winter storm warnings, ice storm warnings also still in effect until 6 o'clock later on today, but that doesn't mean that the threat's going to be over with. That's really just when the active of falling precip finally comes to an end, because beyond that, it's going to get really cold tonight. So we're going to keep those temperatures way below freezing, so it's really not going to go anywhere. We've actually had some warmer air that's been moving up over here on the plateau for most of the morning. And most of the morning, that's kept most of that actually is falling as rainfall. Back to the west of that, though, all these areas that are in that shade of pink, that's that freezing rain that we've been seeing mix in. We've had temperatures closer at Interstate 65, about that 31, 32, 33 degree temperature range for most of the morning now. I think we're just slightly below freezing now in Nashville. Last time I looked, about 31 degrees now. But here's what we're looking at on the radar. Everybody that's in that shade of pink still, that's where you could be still seeing some of that freezing rain. Our far northwestern areas, we are colder all the way through the atmosphere. atmosphere. So that has all transitioned over to all snow. All those dark areas of blue right up here in our northwestern spots, seeing some snow going on right there. And then over here on the plateau, most of this is still regular rain, it looks like, but we may be seeing a little bit of ice begin to mix in with that. Temperatures in the eastern part of our viewing area, we're still seeing those in the mid-30s for most of these spots. Murfreesboro, McMinnville, Tullahoma, Cookeville, all at 34, 39 right now in Crossville. Here in Nashville, we're at 31. You can see the colder air, though, that's starting to move in behind all of this. In our northwestern areas, we're already seeing those temperatures dropping down to the upper teens and lower 20s. I'm going to talk more about this map here in a little bit, but we have a cold weather advisory that is now in effect. This is going to go until noon Tuesday, so we are looking at temperatures that are going to be very cold. Wind chill values could be 0 to 10 degrees below zero.
Brett, thank you. Our live team coverage continues right now. I mentioned we've got crews all around Middle Tennessee. Fox 17 News reporter Chris Knowles is in Nashville. And Chris, I know you have really been out in the thick of some of that damage this morning, watching trees drop live right behind you. We've seen some folks out there doing their part to clear things out already. Why don't you tell us where you are at the moment and what's happening right there behind you?
Yeah, Jennifer, right now I'm on Dale Rose Drive. It's a street over from where we were on Cottage Lane. And these streets are right off of Lebanon Pike, just before you get to the Lebanon Pike, Briley Parkway interchange, about 2 miles from Opry Mills. Let's get a look at what's behind me. So here we see another tree branch covering this road, multiple trees down here. And that's been the story for most of the people here. I've talked to about a dozen of people here this morning, and the story has been consistent. They were woken up to the sound of trees snapping, falling, and transformers blowing, and they were seeing the sky light up throughout the night from this. And I was out here and I heard a transformer blow, and I was also out here where a tree almost fell on top of me. One just fell right there. So that's what's been happening here, and this just shows, Jen, the severity of all of this. These trees are now very dangerous. They're becoming weighty. So if you have trees in your yards near your homes, all of these things can have a negative effect, honestly. And so here you can see where this tree is down. Even over here, Kevin, if we can show you this one, another tree. That one looks to be uprooted right there, and there are a number of trees even in the backyards. Now, Jennifer, I will say it is pretty beautiful looking at the ice in the trees, but that doesn't take away from how risky this could be, especially when there are power lines running near the trees just like this one. That one is actually snapped. Now, NES has been out here, and I talked to some NES workers, and they say that they're going out looking at the areas, and 2 line trucks are right behind them. So they're going seeing where they need to go, and then they're coming right behind them, and they were just over on the street over here. And that's something that they say they're doing right now. So NES is aware, and they did tell me they are going to the most impacted areas first. So where there are the places where there is the most amount of outages, that's where they're going first, and they're trying to get their rounds out. So the best thing to tell everybody is just stay warm right now and be very careful, especially when it comes to down power lines, especially when it comes to those down power lines. Reporting live here in Donaldson, I'm Chris Knowles, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Fox 17, steer clear. Traffic still with quite a few issues out there on the roads and some slick road conditions across the board. Main interstates have been salted, brined, and plowed, so a lot of those just look wet. But we are still watching the threat of a refreeze tonight into tomorrow, as well as some icy patches that still could be there, especially on any elevated surfaces. So bridges, ramps, and overpasses still a major cause for concern. Here's a live look for you at I-40, pretty close to the Silliman Evans Bridge. Outside shoulder blocked at mile marker 211 due to that breakdown. Here's what conditions look like out towards Dixon County. I-40 at 840 with our outside shoulder still coated.
Thanks, Lindsay. 10:38 is the time right now, and new this morning, we are talking with the president of the Nashville International Airport, Doug Crulin. Doug, I do want to say thank you for joining us live. I'm sure you got your hands full right now with this winter storm. Doug, you and I got to Nashville right about the same time. And we've seen a lot here over the last, 10 to 15 years. How would you rate what we're experiencing now in terms of the impact to the airport?
Pretty similar to the larger snowstorm in 2015, but I would say a notch harder for us to deal with because of so much ice.
And Doug, let's talk about how it's impacting operations at the airport right now. Are you all on full power at the airport? Are you having to go to backup power sources?
No, we have dual feeds that feed the Nashville International Airport with Nashville Electric Service. So no problems with power, at the airport. We've been going at it since Friday evening at 6 p.m. Our teams have been out there. We have one runway open right now. A second runway will be open in a short bit, but as a preventive measure, the airlines have canceled 473 of the 593 flights out of here right now. But I think we're going to see aviation or airplanes start taking off sometime after 1 o'clock today.
All right, the de-icing that has to happen for these planes to get both off the ground and into Nashville, I mean, that's a process. Two questions for you here, both one, want to talk about passengers, and two, about your employees. So for the passengers, do you have a lot of people who are stuck at the airport right now? I mean, is it folks are like sleeping in the terminal kind of situation?
No, a normal day for us, assuming no snow, we would be moving about 70,000 passengers through the airport on average. And because of the heads up and everybody's been tracking the storms, with all the cancellations, only about 8 or 9,000 folks are trying to get out of the airport today. So they're not all stuck in the airport right now.
Okay.
The airlines have been doing a good job of canceling early.
Yeah.
And reference the employees. Especially for the airport staff, we have about 200 folks have been working around the clock, and we purchase hotel rooms with them on the airport or right near the airport, so they don't have to drive in from long distances. They only have to go a short, quarter mile or just walk across to the terminal.
Yeah, that was going to be my second question is, I don't think folks realize, but the people who work at the airport and help run the airport, that's considered an essential service. And so making sure that they're able to get there is a top priority as well. So glad to hear that you've got them covered. Anything else you'd like to share with people who are waking up with us right now? Any kind of important messages you want to make sure we get out there?
Well, be careful on the roads. Obviously, they're slick. Once you get onto airport property, you're going to see the roads are in really good shape. The runways are almost clean and dry, and we'll continue to treat those so that they can have a safe flight out of here. But check with your airlines before taking the journey to the airport. If they're flying, we'll be ready to accommodate them.
All right, very good. And I feel like we're going to wrap this up with an important note here as well, Doug. Just a reminder, folks, B&A does not control what your airline does. So,
exactly, yeah.
Anybody
we're
who's
ready.
got beef about their flight, you got to direct that to your airline because they're the ones controlling that. All right, Doug, thank you so much for your time. Be safe out there. We'll check in with y'all a little bit later today and see how things are going.
Thank you.
All right, Doug, thank you so much. Lindsay?
Live look on the roads as we still have snow and ice out there in Middle Tennessee. I'll break it all down for you coming up.
And the storm system not just impacting us here at home, but really wreaking havoc nationwide from Texas all the way up to New York. We're going to take you to those spots and show you how things are developing live right here on Fox 17 News this morning.
Lindsay, mic check, check 1, 2, check, check. No. I wonder what our record is.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
It's interesting too because at least on my NES map Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. Brett and I were just talking during the commercial break about the power outages we're seeing. Not only the power outages, but we have confirmation through at least NES, but maybe some of your other providers, that there are some problems with reporting outages. So when we tell you about these numbers, just know it may be bigger because apparently a lot of people can't report them. But NES right now, Brett, has 204,000 customers without power in the main Davidson County area.
And you're saying that number could even be a little bit higher than that if they can't report them. Wow, that is a lot of power outages. You know, that's something we warned about for several days now. Go ahead and have everything charged because we knew this was going to be a big winter storm and it was going to have the potential to bring a lot of ice, and that's exactly what it has done. The real freezing rain started early this morning and it just hasn't really let up most of the day. It was heavy this morning. Right now it's just some light freezing rain, it looks like, still across a good chunk of Middle Tennessee. And then a little bit of snow is starting to mix into our far western counties. But for the rest of the day, obviously, we're just going to go ahead and keep it in that code red alert mode. And then honestly, that probably should be extended on into Monday and Tuesday as well, because these impacts are going to stick around with us. We are not going to warm up. In fact, we have probably already seen our high temperature and things are already just going to drop, or they're already dropping, and they'll just keep on dropping as we go through the rest of the day. Cold weather advisories. I want to show you this map really quick. Nearly all of our counties included in that. Wind chill values until noon Tuesday could be going about 0 to 10 degrees below zero, so very cold air. And then future temperatures by 10 p.m. tonight, we're already in the barely in the teens for some areas. 12 degrees by 10 p.m. in Clarksville, 18 degrees here in Nashville by 10 p.m. And then overnight lows tonight, those temperatures just keep on dropping. We're barely in the single digits. Some of these spots almost going below zero. Hopkinsville at 2 degrees tonight, 4 degrees the low tonight in Clarksville, 9 tonight in Nashville, and over on the plateau, temperatures barely hanging in the double digits. It has been a little bit warmer on the plateau today, and that's why radar throughout most of the day has been showing rain over there on the plateau. Back west of that, though, right here in this shade of pink, we've kind of had that battle zone. We are still seeing some light freezing rainfall in those areas, some light snow now mixing into our far northwestern spots, and that'll continue as we go on through the next several hours. Right now, temperatures in the upper teens for our northwestern areas. We're at 33 degrees right here in Nashville. Temperatures just kind of keep on fluctuating just a bit. Just recently, they were at 31, now at 33. So that puts us 1 degree above freezing, which is good, but that's only 1 degree. Temperatures should keep on dropping as we go through the rest of the day. By 2 p.m., we're looking at temperature around 20 degrees in Nashville. That means that all of that is just going to stay there. All of this pink that you're seeing on a future track for 2 o'clock, that's all some light freezing rain possibly. And then areas on the plateau may still be just warm enough to have that still falling as rain, and then more snow is going to move in on the backside of all this. We've got colder temperatures over here in our northwestern spots. That's going to be falling as some light snow, and then that's going to carry on as we go through the rest of the afternoon. Finally, should be clearing out, moving on into the evening hours tonight of at least the actively falling precipitation. But all those impacts from what it brought earlier, those are going to stick around with us as we go through the next day or two especially, and then maybe for some of the more rural and untreated areas, untreated roadways longer than that. By 2 p.m. around mid-20s, lower 20s by 6 p.m., and then we're going down to the teens later on. 34 degrees our high today, and we've probably already hit that. That's about where we're at right now, but I just don't expect things to go any higher than that. We're going to keep our temperatures going down as we go through the rest of the day. 9 degrees tonight here in Nashville, and then we're at 18 on Monday. Monday night is going to be the coldest night for us with a low temperature at 2 degrees.
Fox 17, steer clear traffic with a new breakdown that just popped up on the south side of town pretty close to Antioch. I-24 roads, they look pretty clear, but we do still have a ton of icy patches, especially on those outside shoulders. So main lanes of traffic have been treated, but it only takes just the tiniest amount of ice to cause a spin out. Also a lot of debris on the roadways that you could potentially run into. And if you've lived in Middle Tennessee for a while, you know the potholes are really bad. Any type of winter storm like this makes those 10 times worse. So definitely look out for that. Limit that travel if you can. Here's I-65 north side of town, pretty close to Bethel Road. No wrecking crashes here, but a major closure really close by. Robertson County, we've got 65 South closed at Highway 76 due to a tree that fell down in that storm and is blocking all southbound lanes. Of course, crews are on the way to try and respond to that. that, but this is a common theme that we've seen all across the board on interstates, but especially on secondaries and neighborhood roads around Williamson County in particular is where I've seen a ton of trees down. That closure on 65 South, though, right around mile marker 108.
All right, Lindsay, thank you so much. So from Robertson County to Williamson County, now we're going to go back to Rutherford County because the city of Murfreesboro giving people a real-time look at the road conditions there. And we want to share this with you. What you're watching here with us is a live traffic loop of the city of Murfreesboro cameras. So all around the city. And as we kind of rotate through these, bear with us, this is a live feed. The roads look slushy, all right, because we've had that rain on top of the snow and the ice. We're watching a couple of these rotate through here, folks taking it slow. Here's the deal. We know that there are trees down across Murfreesboro. We've got a power line down as well across Medical Center Parkway. A tree down and a line down across Medical Center Parkway, that's a bad spot for that to be. And in fact, I'm looking at an update right now. Let's keep these live cameras up while I update you on Middle Tennessee Electric. So if you're waking up with us in Rutherford County, you already know that your power provider is MTE. That's Middle Tennessee Electric. An update just minutes ago from MTE says, we currently have about 14,000 members without power. This includes Murfreesboro, where we're looking live right now. We're asking you to be patient as our crews work in difficult conditions to repair significant damage and restore power. They're saying this could result in longer than usual restoration times. You can see the ice on these Murfreesboro cameras here. And as it does get colder throughout the course of the day, just going to make it even more challenging. So Middle Tennessee Electric also saying that kind of like NES, they're having technical difficulties with their outage map and their automated phone line because they have so many people calling. So they're asking you to please be patient if you're an MTE customer. They are confirming right now, I'm reading this too, it says the MTE app is back up and running. So you can report an outage. If you are south and east of Nashville, an MTE customer, you can report an outage through the app. And again, be patient. They're also urging everybody to stay well away from any downed trees or power lines just for safety purposes. All right, so that's the situation in Murfreesboro. Let's come back to Nashville. We want to send it back out live right now to Fox 17 News reporter Chris Knowles. Chris, good morning.
Frozen.
Oh, looks like Chris's shot might be frozen, kind of like the rest of the mid-state. So we will check back in with Chris as soon as things thaw out and we can get a signal from him. Quick reminder here for you, wherever you are in Tennessee, our Fox 17 Code Red weather app has the latest for you. The radar, the snowfall totals, the current conditions, the predictions. So we can, get you covered a day or two out, and then of course extended forecast as well from our team of meteorologists. You can download this app right now by scanning the QR code that's on your screen. If that's kind of new to you, what you do is you open up your smartphone camera, hold it up to the screen, and it'll give you a link. You tap on that link, you can download the app right there, or you can go to your favorite app store and search Fox 17 Code Red Weather. Taking a look now at something kind of sweet here in the storm. A fresh calf. Oh, it's going to turn a day old this morning. Mike Taliento sent in this picture from their cattle ranch in Clarksville. Mike, thank you so much. He says, the hay on the calf is keeping it warm in the snow. Look at that sweet baby. And we know that, a lot of this is dangerous and destructive weather, but a lot of folks are making the best of it, having a little bit of fun here. This looks like something my kids would do. This is from Laren Gorman, who sent in this video of folks getting a ride on the kayak from the golf cart, or maybe that's a little canoe. Now, we wouldn't necessarily tell you to go out and give this a shot, but we wanted to share your experiences, and this is one of them. If you've got great video you want to share with us or some incredible pictures, send them on our way. You can do that at fox17.com/chime in. If you like our app, you can also submit them through Chime In on our app. Just make sure if you're going out to take pictures or videos, be safe, y'all. We don't want you to get into trouble or put yourself in danger to get a good shot. But we do have more of them coming up here. We're going to check back in to see how you're enjoying the weather, even though, yes, we know it can be dangerous. We'll share that plus so much more. And, of course, updates on that forecast. Brett?
And so there you go. There's a live look over Broadway for you. Obviously had to deal with some ice this morning. It's still coming down a little bit. We're going to show you what it's looking like on radar here in just a bit.
Hey there, welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. Want to say thank you for waking up with us for this special edition of our Code Red Weather Alert coverage. And yes, while we are seeing an ice storm in progress now, we know a lot of you had a chance to get out and have a little bit of fun as the snow was falling before all this icy stuff became a problem. We want to say thanks so much to Brooklyn Jones, who sent in these pictures of her dog, Sully. Listen, I love a doodle, especially one that loves the snow. And these are great shots. Sully seems to be loving it. I know ours definitely do. And then check this out. Sweet baby. Oh my goodness. That is Raylyn on her very first sleigh ride. Guys, are you watching this with me? Look at that sweet baby girl, and she's loving the ride. I love that. So thank y'all so much. Again, I know a lot of us had a chance to at least get in a little bit of fun in the snow before the ice set in, and we appreciate seeing this sweet little baby, Raylyn. Rachel Moody, thank you for sending this in. This really gave us all a good smile. If you want to share your best shots, your pictures, your videos, head to fox17.com/chime-in. And our Fox 17 Code Red Weather Alert tracking all the damage now from the ice that has settled in.
This is a Fox 17 News Code Red Weather Special Edition, sponsored by Sarah Chevrolet, Bart Durham Injury Law, and Frontier Foundation.
I'm Jennifer Waddell for Fox 17 News this morning. And yes, this special code red weather alert is tracking the damage now from the ice storm that is settling in. And it's not over, folks. We're going to tell you what to expect for the rest of your Sunday into Monday and even Tuesday. And a lot of power outages across Middle Tennessee, including NES outages and the rest of our providers. We're looking at probably 250,000 customers who do not have power right now, and it could be a while before it comes back on. So we are making sure you are aware and prepared as we kind of hunker down through the rest of this storm. Again, I'm Jennifer Waddell, glad to be here for you. We have team coverage. We're going to be here for you through noon as we cover Nashville and beyond. In case you were with us earlier this morning, you might have been watching right around 7 o'clock when we were live on the air for you. We took a power hit here at the station, and it knocked us off for about an hour or so. We jumped on over to our social media pages and had you covered there. So we want to say thank you for bearing with us. We're all in this together, and we're glad to be back here live on the air with you now. Our Fox 17 Code Red meteorologist, Brett Luna, is the man who's got all the information we're needing to know, wanting to know, and of course trying to make our plans around for the next couple of days.
Yeah, it's been quite the morning. You know, we started out with all that freezing rain that we had this morning. It was coming down really heavy too. The rain was heavy, and then everything that it was hitting, it was just freezing on contact. And that stayed the case for a while, some heavy freezing rain. That's what brought that significant ice accumulation. It's also what has led to a lot of these power outages, trees down, all the bad stuff that's been going on. Winter storm warnings still in effect for a lot of Middle Tennessee and Southern Kentucky. Ice storm warnings in the shades of purple for Southwest Kentucky. Also our southwestern counties right here in Middle Tennessee. Those are all going to go until 6 o'clock this evening, but that's just when most of the active falling precipitation will finally come to an end. Beyond that, we're going to be really cold for the next several days, so those impacts could be sticking around with us for a little bit longer. We've had some warmer air. I say warmer, and I mean a few degrees above freezing over here on the plateau, but it's been just warm enough to keep a lot of that falling as rain. But now we have colder air that is beginning to filter in, and I'll show you what some of these temperatures are looking like here in just a bit. This is a radar loop from over the past hour. All this pink that you're seeing right here in the middle area of Middle Tennessee and Southern Kentucky, that is some light freezing rain that we're still seeing fall. And then over here on the plateau, temperatures there have remained just above freezing, so that still appears to be falling as just regular rainfall. We do have some snow that's now working in to our northwestern areas. That's where the colder air is starting to move in. And all that blue that you're seeing, that is some snow that is moving in behind all of this freezing rain that we've had. Temperatures are really fluctuating here in Nashville between about 31 and 33 degrees. We were just at 33 degrees last time we were talking. We're now at 32. That puts us right back at freezing. Temperatures to the northwest of us, Clarksville, Hopkinsville, Paris, all in the upper teens, Camden included. And then over here east of Interstate 65, you can see these temperatures in the mid-30s, lower 40s in Crossville. Crossville actually warmed up a little bit. 34 in Murfreesboro, 2 degrees above freezing. 36 Tullahoma and McMinnville. That's why all of that is staying as regular rain over there. Beyond this, though, really cold air is going to settle in. Cold weather advisories in effect for nearly all of Middle Tennessee and Southern Kentucky. Wind chill values falling 0 to 10 degrees below zero. We're going to talk more about that and show you how long this colder air sticks around coming up here in just a bit. Also, going to send it over to Johnny Maffey. He is down in Murfreesboro. And Johnny, I know you were out there earlier and you were seeing just some rain. What's it looking like out? That was early this morning. What are you seeing right now?
Yeah, Brett, well, it is still rain, but the slush holding the rain on some of these roads is what's really the concern for the Murfreesboro Public Works. We're in a gas station parking lot, but it's a safe place because this paints a great picture of what the side roads are like. Madison, go to my feet if you don't mind, because these puddles between the slush, as the temps are going to get colder later on tonight, overnight, and especially stay cold on, Monday night into Tuesday morning. That's the concern. So what the Murfreesboro Public Works Department is doing is they're cleaning the main roads so they get the slush off the main roads because, yes, some people do need to drive, but you need to be careful about what's going on those side roads because, Santa can get to everyone in one night, but Murfreesboro Public Works might not be able to. We'll show you the... I'll try to have you listen to this because it is rain here, and I know Middle Tennessee is just a wide range of things, but tell me if you can even hear this, if this is worth doing. But you can see it's raining out, and it's not freezing rain yet here in Murfreesboro, but we are following everything. We've seen Murfreesboro police monitoring things safely. Not a lot of cars on the road. The main road's passable, but be careful, and especially be careful because things will continue to change and potentially get worse coming up tonight into tomorrow. Live in Murfreesboro, Johnny Maffey, guys. We'll send it back to the studio.
Johnny, thank you. As a baseball player, I can tell that it doesn't matter whether you've got a bat or an umbrella, still have a great swing. We're going to get ready to join our Fox 17 News reporter, Chris Knowles. But Chris, as we send it out to you, I do want to update everybody on something we just got from Nashville Electric Service, and Chris is in Nashville. Help is on the way. We're getting an update right now from NES that they are going to have approximately 80 line workers on contract coming into Nashville from other parts of the country to help us out. So they've got everybody within NES, all hands on deck working, and they're about to bring in another 80 contract workers to try to get power back on for folks. So that's good news there. Let's send it out to Chris Knowles right now, our Fox 17 News reporter who is live in Nashville, taking a look at some of this damage.
Hey, Jennifer, let's keep the encouragement going. You said help is on the way, but I want to take it a step further. Help is here. NES is up there working right now trying to get the power back on. We just told you that we talked to a crew that said they have trucks that are coming out, linemen that are coming out, and they are here working to restore power. So we don't know how long it will take exactly, but we do know that the efforts are being made. So again, we're just asking everyone to be patient during this process, but there are still many trees that are still snapping even right now. And if you see me kind of looking around, I may be a bit paranoid because we almost had a tree fall on us, but we are still watching those limbs. If we get up there, Kevin, are we able to get that limb right there? That limb right there is on that power line, and that's what these line crews are trying to prevent, and they're trying to even go and cut some of these limbs off. So it's still a very severe and dangerous situation. So don't get too comfortable even right now, because this still will freeze and add more weight to the trees. But even in this area, many of the houses, their yards look like they shook trees dust across the yard because there are so many limbs and branches down right now. So again, Jennifer, I want to re-emphasize that this is a very serious matter, and everyone be patient as the crews out. Report your outages using the app. I just looked at the NES map and I saw about 34 outages in a neighboring community next to me. And to just give a reference to where I'm at, I'm right off of Cottage Lane, which is right off of Lebanon Pike, near the Lebanon Pike and Briley Parkway interchange, about 2 miles from Opry Mills. So we're in the Donaldson area where crews are at right now working to restore power. And Jennifer, we'll keep you updated with the latest when we see more, and keep you all going, as well as we're actively posting on our social media pages. So Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Stay with us there, as well as this broadcast for the latest. Reporting live in Donaldson, I'm Chris Knowles, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Fox 17 steer clear traffic with a live look for you down in Franklin. Here's I-65 pretty close to McEwen. You can see interstates have made a major improvement, but some of these on and off ramps are still pretty dicey, especially if you look over towards the outside shoulders, where we do still have a ton of snow and ice buildup there, and then even on the interstate around the median and outside shoulders. So I've still had a ton of crashes, especially spin out crashes due to people just barely slipping on that ice and then taking a turn. I don't want that to happen to you. Please stay in if you can. This is I-65 at Briley, north side of town. Just another example of what road conditions look like. This one main lane of traffic is great, but crews could only do so much because they've had a huge task at hand the past few days trying to treat all of these roadways. What we're watching now is the threat of that refreeze, because these roads are still wet and those temps are going to be dropping low tonight.
Thank you, Lindsay. And just into the Fox 17 newsroom, we've learned WeGo Transit, that's the public transportation for Nashville, is shutting down operations across the city today. Here's the latest, and this is a statement from WeGo. They're saying due to severe weather conditions, WeGo Public Transit is placing all service on hold until further notice, effective 7:45 a.m. Sunday, January 25th. So this has been in effect for a few hours now. It's going to continue through today. They're saying that WeGo Access service is also suspended. WeGo confirms that the weather is not only causing problems when it comes to simply moving on the roads, but they're having problems with their communication infrastructure. In other words, they're having a hard time being able to communicate with their buses. So crews right now, we understand, are working to fix that situation. WeGo's representative says they're trying to get back to their snow route service as soon as possible. We'll be sure to let you know when they do. And an update right now from Middle Tennessee Electric, sharing pictures of the damage from this ice storm. You can see where the ice has split trees and snapped power lines. MTE, which services a good portion of Rutherford County along with Nolensville, says they have about 14,000 people without power. Now, that was their latest report. While I've got you here, I'm going to refresh their outage map behind the scenes a little bit so we can take a look at the pictures. And I'm going to refresh their map. Okay, now it looks like there are about 17,000 people without power within MTE. So that covers a good portion of Mount Juliet, Lebanon, Smyrna, Murfreesboro, Woodbury, even down into Spring Hill, Franklin, and Fairview. So all of those places that I just mentioned, which cover a good swath of our southern and eastern neighbors, you are in that outage zone. Again, about 17,000 customers without power within MTE. And, you know, we're hitting what could be a really dangerous stretch here the next couple of days. We've been mentioning NES, that's Nashville Electric Service, and their current situation. In case you missed it just a moment ago, I brought you the breaking news that NES is bringing in about 80 contracted workers to help get the power back on. So they've got all of their normal shift workers within NES, but they're bringing in more. Right now, looking at the latest NES map, and let's make sure mine is refreshed with yours. So we are updated here. We are now at, folks, are you ready for this? 207,000 customers without power. Here's what's important to note. 207,000 customers. That would be a customer considered one paying person. So one person who pays the bill in a house. If you were to consider 2, 3, or 4 people in a house, we are looking at exponentially more people being impacted by those outages. And what we're doing right now here live on your screen is just kind of popping around to some of the bigger outages that they're reporting. Also worth noting, I don't think we have it on the screen that you see here, but I've got it in the background on mine. A heads up if you're trying to report a power outage with NES. They are aware that they're having some issues with their submission process. So the way that you tell them you don't have power, that may not be working properly at the moment. So they're trying to fix that and get that remedied. They tell us that they are actively working to resolve the reporting issues, while at the same time getting all of their crews out wherever they can. I do just want to take a moment, folks, to remind you it's hard to go without power. I know it. We were without power here at the station earlier. We're without power at my home. It can be frustrating and, you know, for some people, make you feel a little bit nervous, but just know that these crews are out here doing everything they can to get you back online. And the best way you can help them do that is to stay off the roads. Just kind of stay out of their way so they can work and get everything back online. We've got 200 line crews within NES alone. Plus, we've got all those about 80 extra contractors on their way into Nashville as we speak. It is Sunday. And I know we're normally not here on the air for you on a weekend morning, but this is the kind of a situation that warrants making sure we're keeping you alert, aware, prepared, protected. So in addition to our live broadcast that we've got for you right now, this is going to go through 12. We're also going to have some specials this afternoon. Fox 17 News at 4, Fox 17 News at 10:30, and then we'll be doing some weather updates. Yeah, we got a big football game today, and we're aware of that. I'm so glad we're back on the air for all these reasons. So we've got the NFC Championship game later today. We'll do a halftime update there. And as always, we have you covered at fox17.com and over on our Fox Nashville YouTube channel. We're busy tracking all the road conditions for you, letting you know how things are looking out there on the streets. Live look from Lower Broadway right now. You know, you look at the roads in a lot of places and you might think, gosh, well, it just looks like it's been raining. It has, but the rain is freezing on a lot of surfaces. The roads might be clear where you are, but in cities like Franklin and Clarksville and in Nashville, It's the rain that's frozen on contact on our trees, our power lines, and our cars. It's created a lot of problems. So we're going to check in on all those locations coming up in minutes. I want to say thank you for waking up with us here on Fox 17 News this morning. We are your Code Red station. Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. Time right now is 11:18, and yes, you are watching a special Code Red weather event unfold across Middle Tennessee and Southern Kentucky, and we're here for you. Our Fox 17 Code Red meteorologist Brett Luna is tracking the weather, and Brett, the impact of the weather to, for example, schools. All right, if your school district has not called it yet, just hang tight. I would imagine that we have a lot of school districts, directors, headmasters that are all putting their plans in place for Monday and Tuesday. Brett, a lot of these school districts are already canceled for Monday, Tuesday. Do you think, and I know you know, we're not telling the school districts how to call it here, but do you think once we get past Tuesday, we might get a break?
I'm going to just say I hope so.
Okay.
The next couple days are going to be really cold, so I guess it'll depend on like the main roads or the back roads. If the crews have enough time to clear those main roads or not, just get all of that's on there right there. Things should start to kind of calm down once we finally get beyond this event, but it is about to get really, really cold. Matter of fact, I was just seeing that a lot of us are in that cold weather advisory right now, but National Weather Service in Nashville now saying that they're going to upgrade that to an extreme cold warning to replace that cold weather advisory. We're talking wind chill values dropping down to about 10 degrees below zero. So we are in this code red alert. We've been in it all day long for the past several days now in anticipation of this storm. But for today, we're going to remain in that for this major winter storm. Still looking at some big travel issues and also the chance for more and more power outages as this ice just continues to just hang on those power lines and on those trees. More trees are going to come down. Cold weather advisory is up for right now. This is likely going to transfer to that all blue color, and that's going to be that extreme cold warning that overtakes much of Middle Tennessee. Wouldn't be surprised if we get some of that up in southern Kentucky as well. Temperatures by 10 and 11 o'clock tonight only in the teens for a lot of Middle Tennessee up into southern Kentucky. 18 degrees by 11 p.m. here Sunday night. And then low temperatures tonight, they're going to drop down really low. We're going to drop down to 1 degree in Paris, 9 degrees the overnight low right here tonight in Nashville. Want to show you your radar too. All of this pink, this is the current radar image, 1120. All the pink, that's still some of that light freezing rain potentially falling to the ground. And then also over here on the plateau, all of that is green. So that's just rain. It never has a chance to refreeze. Temperatures there are remaining just enough above freezing to keep all that falling as rain. This is falling as snow. It briefly melts, and then right on contact, it freezes on the ground. Now, that's that light freezing rain. Early this morning, though, we were looking at heavy freezing rain, and that's when we started to report a lot of our new power outages, too. About 4, 5, 6 o'clock a.m., we started to get the first reports in, and then it just went up way higher than that very quickly, all the way up to over 200,000 now here in Davidson County, it looks like, or around the area. 32 degrees in Nashville, 19 in Clarksville. We have temperatures in the lower 30s right here in Nashville. We're going to time everything out for you, show you a future track and what you can expect for the rest of the day coming up here in just a bit.
Fox 17, steer clear traffic. Take a look at this. This is a live look up in Clarksville, I-24, pretty close by to Trenton Road. Oh, again, we do advise you not to travel today. Some interstates are a lot worse than others. This is one of them. Around downtown Nashville, a ton of our interstates have been treated, but I've still had, at least 20 or 30 spin-out crashes happen just since about 5 o'clock this morning. Here's another live look on the roads for you. This one a little bit closer towards Hendersonville. Vietnam Vets at Gallatin Pike. Main lanes of Vietnam Vets look pretty good, but you can still see a little bit of that ice buildup towards the outside shoulders and the inside shoulders as well. TDOT crews in some areas only had time to plow 1 or 2 lanes of the interstates.
Lindsay, thanks. You know, in this winter ice storm that we're experiencing right now, we have a lot of you sending in great new pictures. Here's one just in through our Fox 17 Chime In. We've been telling you throughout the course of the morning, this is an easy way for you to send us your best shots. We want to say thank you to Karen Bratter, who sent us this picture and says her cherry blossom tree crashed. Waking up the family this morning. Folks, just be prepared for a lot of our vegetation, whether it's, big old trees or smaller, maybe not even as strong trees, to not survive this storm. So we want to say thank you to Karen. Sorry you lost your tree there, but thank you for sending us in that shot. These pictures really help tell the story. We've got, anywhere from 1/10 of an inch of ice up toward closer to maybe 1/2 inch of ice on a lot of our trees and our power lines right now, and that is just wreaking havoc. So thanks again. And by the way, if you have a great picture you want to send in to us, you can go to fox17.com, select Chime In on our drop-down menu, or if you love using our app, you can submit them through there as well. And Fox 17 News continues our live team coverage right now. We have Fox 17 News reporter Johnny Maffey. He's been giving us updates this morning from Rutherford County. Johnny, I know we've got about 17,000 people or so without power in the Murfreesboro area. Tell us where you are and what you're experiencing now.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, we are here in Murfreesboro at one of the gas stations I've been showing you. We kind of have to stay here. We're trapped here with our camera lens and everything. Got to keep it outside. Get out of the way. Show the tow truck going by here. You can see they're just trekking through the slush. Thank you, sir. EA Towing. Good luck out there. Drive safe. But, Jen, one thing I wanted to touch on was what you mentioned about, you asked Brett what Brett thinks and what our meteorologists are tracking after Tuesday, because it's going to get cold and those schools in Murfreesboro and Rutherford County school districts already closed for Monday and Tuesday. What the Murfreesboro Public Works Department is scared of is what I'm walking through right now, this slushy stuff that's going to be on the side roads, because it's going to stay cold this week according to the forecast right now. We know it's a changing forecast, and what Brett was saying was he hopes it can get better. I hope it gets better. That's what the Murfreesboro Public Works Director was telling me as well. He hopes things can get better, but if it freezes tonight, tomorrow, whether it's a side road, a main road, a parking lot, it's going to have a tough time melting throughout the week. So we're going to be sticking on that, and you better believe Fox 17 is going to be following it as long as we need to throughout this week. Live in Murfreesboro, Johnny Maffey, guys, back to you.
Thank you, Johnny. Appreciate all your hard work out there in the elements. At 11:25 right now, still to come, we're going to show you more pictures of the damage across Middle Tennessee. We just left Johnny in Murfreesboro. We're going to go to Franklin here in a few minutes and show you what's happening in that area and let you know the traffic impacts. But again, a reminder, speaking of the traffic, folks, best bet today and even into tomorrow is to stay home. If you can stay off the roads, it means they get cleared faster. It means the power crews can work faster to hopefully get us all back online sooner. All right, stay with Fox 17 News this morning. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. Your time right now is 11:28. I'm Jennifer Waddell, and this is a special edition of Fox 17 News this morning, where we're in a dangerous code red weather alert for this ice storm that's developed. This is what we were concerned about, what we've been alerting you to the last couple of days, and it is here now. So we are working through the impacts. Right now, I want to take you to Franklin, where they're reporting several road closures this morning. This is just a sampling of what they're dealing with. We've got a lot of trees down from the ice and power lines down as well. So listen up here. I'm going to run you through some of the locations of most concern right now. Gist Road between Columbia and Adams. We've got North Royal Oaks at Freedom Drive, a problem there. We've got trees down at Lewisburg Pike, just north of Mac Hatcher. Williamson County EMA is telling Fox 17 News. This picture right here is from Goose Creek Bypass, and this is a major thoroughfare road there through Williamson County. We understand that the city of Franklin does have their urban forestry and their street crews out there responding right now. Middle Tennessee Electric, MTE, which covers this portion of the Midstate for Power, they're also out there on the job. Williamson County EMA reminding people And this is a really good reminder. If you have a power outage, don't call 911. Call your power company. You can submit an outage online. You can call 911 if you have a power line down for any reason. So if you've got a tree in a power line, or say a pole has snapped, then you call 911 and call your power company too. So you'll want to double up in that event. And some new pictures coming in right now from Lebanon police. We want to take a look here at just how much ice has accumulated on some of their infrastructure. So the trees, the power lines, street signs, traffic lights. Police tell us that they are working a lot of outages in Wilson County, and I've been seeing those as well. In fact, MTE, we were mentioning, covers a good portion of Wilson County, also covers a good portion of Williamson, and even down into Rutherford County. So approximately 17,000 power outages that have been reported through MTE. Fox 17 News is going to keep you updated on all those impacts as we continue here live through 12 noon.
This is a Fox 17 News Code Red Weather Special Edition, sponsored by Sarah Chevrolet, Bart Durham Injury Law, and Frontier Foundation.
Welcome into Fox 17 News this morning. Officially, as we continue for about the next half hour or so, we will be your live local news source, alerting you to the road conditions, any power outages, and other impacts in this ice storm. We're going to make sure you're ready for today and even into tomorrow with all that important information you need to stay safe. Welcome in. I'm Jennifer Waddell. We've got crews that are out there right now making sure the roads are clear. This is snowplow action from Montgomery County as the snow started to fall. Of course, since the snow fell, we've had ice on top of it. So if you haven't been outside yet today, probably a good thing, because first step out the door is going to be a slick one. We have had sleet and rain that fell earlier this morning. It was pouring. I mean, we had puddles in a lot of areas this morning. It's such a weird start to the day. And now, unfortunately, a lot of that rain has frozen over on a lot of our surfaces. So please be careful on that first step out the door. We do have team coverage for you for the next 30 minutes. We have our Fox 17 Code Red meteorologist Brett Luna leading the charge here now with the current conditions and what we're expecting over the next several hours.
Yeah, Jen, you know, when we got up this morning, it was just a heavy rain, but it was below freezing right here at the ground. So it was just freezing on contact. And that's why we were seeing so many power outages. I want to show you this map really quick too. When I got to work this morning, only about 6,000 power outages were reported, and then the bottom just fell out as we went through the next few hours. And now we're looking at more than 200,000 power outages here in Davidson County. Most of these came between about 6 to 9 a.m. it looks like, and then we've had a little bit more the closer we got to 10 o'clock. But a lot of power outages going on across Middle Tennessee, but especially right here in Davidson County. Here's a live or a current look at our radar. Our far northwestern area is still seeing a lot of blue over there. That's all snow that's fallen. This area of pink, some light freezing rain still going on right here. And then if you're right here on the eastern edge of Rutherford County eastward along the plateau, everything right there is falling as rain. We have temperatures there that are just still hanging a little bit above freezing. So all of that is falling as just regular rain. And that's what that area has seen really throughout most of today. Temperatures over there have remained just warm enough. This is 2 p.m. back here to our northwest. Could still be seeing some light snow falling in those areas. And then once you get closer to Interstate 65, could still be seeing a little bit of light freezing rain even by early noon. And then still on the plateau, McMinnville, Cookville, Crossville, you can see these temperatures just a degree or a few degrees above freezing. So all that is still going to be falling as rain until we get to the later part of the afternoon. These areas finally start to see the temperatures drop, and we could see a little bit of that light of freezing rain, maybe even falling in some of those areas. We're going to have more looks on all this and also an extreme cold warning that was just issued. We'll talk about what that means coming up in just a bit.
All right, Brett, thank you so much. Well, the ice is really starting to accumulate, not just on the trees and the power lines and whatnot, but a lot of our back roads especially are going to be extra slick. I know that a lot of our districts have already closed for Monday and many of them for Tuesday, with the anticipation that they're just not going to be able to get to these back roads to get them cleared. And that would include Metro Public Schools. We've got Clarksville, Montgomery County Schools, Wilson County, Sumner County, and so many others. If you want to take a look at the complete list, we have it scrolling at the bottom of your screen. We've also got it updated for you at fox17.com. You can also access our school closures through our free Fox 17 app. So no matter where you need it, we've got you covered 24/7 with those constant updates. And tracking the conditions in Rutherford County, Fox 17 News reporter Johnny Maffey joining us live in Murfreesboro.
Hey, good morning again, Jen. Yeah, we're here on the corner of Malloy and New Salem, and I will say props to Circle K. They braved the conditions. They're open, one of the only things open right now. Let's talk about the parking lots. This is a good picture of what the side roads are doing. Can you see how deep my shoe is right there? That's what could potentially freeze over tonight. Madison, can you find the road for me here? Because what the main roads is what the Murfreesboro Public Works is focusing on right now. You can see it's wet, but the lack of slush is huge, guys, because it's going to turn into Murfreesboro. Get it? My sister just texted me that one. It's going to turn into Murfreesboro a little bit later on, so the water needs to run off the roads. No slush is good. Slush is bad because slush is those puddles you just saw me walking in. This is even ice. I can see the water moving under the ice, so it's ready for a car to kind of break it, but it's still slippery. You got to take it easy out there. And then here's the umbrella, right? It's still rain here in the borough. Again, we're on the corner of New Salem and Malloy out here. Dripping and dropping all day long. Be careful out there. It's going to get colder. Dress warm. We'll keep you posted all day long on Fox 17 and our Fox Nashville social pages. Live in Murfreesboro, Johnny Maffey, guys, back to you.
You know, one of the many things that we love about Johnny is he's from the north and this stuff doesn't faze him at all. So he is right in his element. We've got team coverage that continues live now with Fox 17 News reporter Chris Knowles. Now, Chris, you have really been in the thick of it today when it comes to damage reports, trees falling during some of your live shots and whatnot. And we've also seen the true volunteer spirit already come through with people helping out their neighbors to get stuff cleaned out. Let us know what you're experiencing right now where you are.
Yeah, absolutely. I second everything you just said, Jennifer. Right now we're on Amherst Drive. This a couple of streets over still in this Donaldson Hills subdivision in this neighborhood right off of Lebanon Pike. Near the Lebanon Pike, Browley Park, Browley interchange. Let's give you a look. This is a tree right here. They're working, taking their time, trying to get this tree out of the road. They have cut it up some from when we were first out here. Jennifer, this is exactly where we were at when that tree fell. If we can actually get up there, Kevin, where you see the insides of that tree showing, that's the snap of what happened while we were doing that interview when that tree almost fell down on top of our heads. We saw we had a little more speed than we expected to have. But yeah, it's an effort out here where most of the streets, just being honest, most of these streets have trees or tree limbs or trees that are uprooted covering the entire street. So it's hard for people to drive. And Jennifer, one of the first things I think about in the state of an emergency, if something happens, a medical emergency, how can people get out here? So this can be very alarming. It's very severe and very concerning, to be honest. But we're still out here tracking it. But we do know NES is in the area. I've seen crews out here helping. NES is they're trimming some tree limbs. You have neighbors coming together, helping to cut some of the trees up, and people just trying to take it piece by piece throughout the cold weather. So that's pretty much what we're seeing right now. We're going to stay on top of it, keep you updated with the latest as we continue to track this. Reporting live in Donaldson, I'm Chris Knowles, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Fox 17 steer clear traffic with a live icy look for you on the north side of town. This is Briley Parkway, pretty close to I-65. You can see a ton of our cameras are still frozen over, a lot of them out of service too due to the cold weather and the numerous power outages that we're dealing with in Middle Tennessee. This is 65. You can see here main lanes of 65 look pretty good. TDOT crews have done a great job salting and plowing those roadways, but they can't get to everything. Outside shoulders are still pretty dangerous. I've seen quite a few spin out crashes today. Here's a live look up in Clarksville, completely different scene as we do have some snow-coated roads still working here on I-65, and I mean way up north, so close to to Trenton Road and 76, that general area. Here's a look for you now in Murfreesboro. This is I-24, pretty close to Elam Road. Conditions here look pretty good on main lanes of the interstate. We've still got this one breakdown southeast Nashville. We had about 4 breakdowns back to back due to spin out crashes. You can see this semi here pushed off towards that outside shoulder. This semi has been stuck here for close to 2.5 hours now. Police have tried to get there. Tow truck has tried to get it moved out of the way, but conditions have just not allowed for that to happen. So that is I-40 East at 2nd Avenue, mile marker 210.
You know, Lindsay, I'm glad you mentioned that because I've had a few people message me and text me this morning asking if it's safe to get out on the roads. Here's the thing. Even if you can get out where you are, right, you may not know the conditions between where you are and where you need to go. And if you end up in a situation like that tractor trailer, somebody may not be able to get to you. So that is a real concern. And not only that, but, you know, if you get out there and then you need help, that could put our first responders in the line of danger as well, trying to rescue you. So that's why we are just urging out of an abundance of caution for people to stay off the roads. It lets our crews work faster to get everybody back in service for all the things that we need. And speaking of back online and service, let's check in with NES. Nashville Electric Service covers all of Middle Tennessee, Davidson County proper, and in a lot of our outlying Davidson County areas. And right now we are getting a refresh here on their current outage map. And this is the most that I can remember seeing in years. We are currently with NES sitting at approximately 211,000 customers without power. Now, that's 211,000 paying customers. If you've got more than one person in your place where you pay the bill, we're looking at even a much higher impact here. And that's just within, you know, the main Nashville area. When we do the quick math here and I add up, say, Nashville Electric, Cumberland Electric, Middle Tennessee Electric, Duck River, we are looking at approximately 250,000 customers without power right now in the mid-state. So please be patient. Let these crews work. It's going to take some time. They are overwhelmed. Hearing from NES this morning, they've got 85 bucket trucks ready to roll. They have more than 200 line crews out there working right now. And in case you missed it, at the top of our 11 o'clock hour, we got word from NES that they already have outside contracted linemen coming into Nashville. They have about 80 additional crews that are coming in here from other places to help us out. We appreciate that. We praying that everybody stays safe. This is dangerous work that they're doing out there, folks. Dangerous work for all of us so that we can get the power back on. So again, stay home if you can, give them room to work, and say an extra prayer for them. They are out there in the worst of the conditions. And we know this storm is not just causing problems here at home, but nationwide, from Texas all the way up to New York. We're going to take you there coming up in minutes. And right now, giving you a live look down in Atlanta, where they've also been dealing with this weather system, a lot of rain and freezing rain. In fact, near zero visibility conditions down there at Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport. We have more than 400 flights canceled in and out of Nashville, Atlanta. Unfortunately, feeling the same kind of impacts, and this is the busiest airport in the country. We are monitoring this, plus all the other impacts of this winter storm right here on Fox 17 News this morning. We are your Code Red station.
And we are still in this Fox 17 code red weather alert. This is going to be for that winter weather that's moving in. We've been talking about this for over a week now probably, and it's finally here. And you can see what it's doing. The ice is here. The freezing rain really picked up this morning. It was coming down pretty heavy rain, and as soon as it was making contact with anything, especially right here in Davidson County, it was just freezing on contact. So that's what freezing rain does. It's the worst of all the winter types of precip. But this major winter storm, we'll still be seeing the issues with this for at least a couple of days. We now have an extreme cold warning that's in effect for all of Middle Tennessee, almost all of southern Kentucky. This is going to go until noon Tuesday. Wind chill values could be dropping as low as 10 degrees below zero. It's going to be very cold these next couple of nights. Temperatures 11 p.m. here across Middle Tennessee and southern Kentucky in the double digits, but just barely. 15 in Clarksville, 17 by 11 in Nashville. But then fast forward to about 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, we're down to the single digits in these areas. 1 degree in Paris, 4 degrees in Clarksville. Right here in Nashville, we're at 9 degrees. Over on the plateau, barely hanging in the double digits, 12 degrees at the overnight low tonight in McMinnville. And here's a current look at radar. All the pink that you're seeing, that's still that light frozen or that light freezing rain that's being picked up on the radar right there. Areas to the east of that, this is where we're still seeing temperatures that are hovering just right above freezing. We have temperatures over there in these areas still in the mid 30s or so. So that's keeping that precip falling as rainfall. And that's what that area has been seeing throughout most of the day. Temperatures there have been just barely above freezing or even a little bit above freezing. 36 in Cookeville now, 36 Tullahoma, 37 at McMinnville. We're at freezing here in Nashville. 32 degrees right here. It is not going to get any warmer than that, though. Temperatures will continue to drop as we go through the day. Some upper teens in our northwestern counties. We're going to time everything out for you right here on Future Track. Areas to the east of Interstate 65, still looking at the chance for some rain showers on the plateau. This is the 2 p.m. picture, but then that colder air is finally going to make its way over to the plateau, and then you'll finally see a little bit of this frozen precip over on the plateau by a little bit later on this afternoon. This is the 2 p.m. picture right here in Nashville. Still seeing some of that light pink, some light freezing rain going to be possible. In our northwestern areas, it's the blue that is covering those spots. That's going to be some more light snow that's going to move in on top of the ice that we've already seen. And then by 5 p.m., nearly all of us, except for the plateau, have finally lost the actively falling precip. But a lot of that fell is just going to be sticking around with us on the tree branches, the trees, the power lines, the roads, anything like that it froze on. It's going to have a hard time going anywhere. It's going to be really cold tonight. I was just showing you those temperatures, and we are in that extreme cold warning until noon on Tuesday. Temperatures on Tuesday may not even be able to bust out of the teens. It's going to be a really cold day here in Nashville and all of Middle Tennessee. Temperature at 20 coming up a little bit later on this evening, 18 on Monday. We're in the mid 30s on Tuesday. Overnight lows Monday night into Tuesday morning down to 2 degrees.
Fox 17 steer clear traffic with a live look for you on the roads down pretty close to Franklin. This is 840 at Columbia Avenue, mile marker 28. 840 has not looked great. Even though TDOT did treat and plow a lot of these roadways, those conditions still not looking too good. We do have a really narrow lane of traffic that has been plowed, but you can already see some of these tire tracks from some cars that went off the roadway there. Here's a look for you on the north side of town. This is I-65, pretty close to I-24, also seeing some of those wintry conditions. I-40 and I-24 downtown, these conditions looking much better, but soaking wet.
Thank you, Lindsay. We appreciate all your work this morning. I know it's a lot to keep up with all these road conditions, so thank you for that. Right now, we want to take you down to Murfreesboro. Rutherford County giving neighbors a real-time look at the road conditions so you don't have to get out and see what it looks like. So we're going to go through some of these. In fact, this is right through the City of Murfreesboro website, and these are rotating cameras. Like this one, for example, is Memorial at Desjardins, and they look real slushy. They also, in some places, just look wet, but don't let that fool you. We do have some of the wet roads that are starting to freeze over because the temperatures are starting to get a little colder. And that's going to be the story through the day. We've got this live camera. Let's see, this is at Northfield, it looks like. Looking all right here, really looking wet and a little slushy. But we also have confirmation that we've got trees down across Murfreesboro. We have a power line that's down across Medical Center Parkway, so make sure you watch out for that. That is not showing up in any of these live cameras, but we do know it's there, so make sure you are just taking it easy out there. And I was, telling a lot of folks earlier this morning who have been asking, Is it okay to get out on the roads? Well, here's the thing. The roads might look okay, but we've had so many trees that have fallen just, in the snap of your fingers in an instant, falling across a lot of our roads. So what you don't want to have happen is being fooled into thinking, well, the roads look okay. You get out there and then all of a sudden you got a tree down across the road in front of you. So please stay home if you can and stay informed. We've got our free, or as Greg likes to say, our complimentary Fox 17 News weather app. You can stay informed anywhere you are. It's got the latest radar. We have snowfall totals, ice predictions. We've got forecast looking out a couple days and even the week. And these are all updates straight from our team of meteorologists. We have Katie and Brett who are on it this weekend. Our Fox 17 Code Red meteorologists staying busy. You can download this free app anytime by scanning the QR code right there on your screen or through your app store. Just search Fox 17 Code Red Weather. And continuing coverage this morning of the winter storm as we show you how it's impacting other parts of the country.
Don't go out. Stay home and make yourself safe, and safety is paramount.
It's a blockbuster winter storm bringing snow, ice, and bone-chilling temperatures to much of the U.S.
Frankly, it will be colder than any sustained period that New York has experienced in about 8 years.
Emergencies have been declared in several states, including Tennessee. Forecasters say tens of millions of people are being affected from Texas to New England.
Crews will be working around the clock to clear the streets and keep up with the pace of the storm.
The storm is causing major travel issues. Interstate 20 at I-49 in Louisiana is closed due to weather.
If you do get stranded, make sure you're in a safe space. If you're on the interstate, get off on an exit ramp. You can get to a publicly lit parking lot to get to the destination where you are absolutely safe.
More than 10,000 flights have been canceled through Monday, according to FlightAware. Officials at Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport in Atlanta are using new machinery trying to minimize flight delays.
I'm confident that we will keep the airfield open for arrivals and departures throughout the entire event.
The bottom line, if you can, avoid the outdoors and the roads.
We panic in the South. I'm not so much a panicker. I got gas and electricity, so as long as I got gas, I'll be all right.
That was Fox 17 News anchor Scott Couch. Scott, thank you for that. And while we're all working to get through the dangerous part of the storm now, before the ice moved in, we had some really sweet moments caught on camera, and this is one of them. As the snow was starting to fall yesterday, a calf was born. We want to say thanks so much to Mike Taliento, who sent in this picture from their cattle ranch in Clarksville. He says the hay on this little baby is helping to keep it warm in the snow. If you've got great shots, we'd love to see them, whether it was you taking advantage of the nice fluffy snow for a little while or whether you have damage you want to report to us. You can share your best shots now at fox17.com/chime in. And as we continue our team coverage live for you through noon, we want to send it back out to Fox 17 News reporter Johnny Mathie. He's been live for us all morning in Murfreesboro, watching the changing conditions. We've gone from huge, splashy water puddles, Johnny, to a lot of that frozen over now where you are. Good morning. I know, it's a lot to keep up with.
Yeah, well, it was beautiful Saturday morning, guys. The snow had people downtown having a few mimosas, and then, yeah, it's a mess right now. It's kind of like the weather's had some mimosas, and it's a little drunk. What I've been saying, though, is what the City Public Works Department is saying. This slush, it's bad news because the water can't go anywhere. It might even be clogging some drains. I know I'm in a parking lot right now at a gas station, Circle K, on the corner of New Salem and Malloy. But this represents a lot of the side streets. The water can't get anywhere. It's going to freeze. I just want to urge you to be careful before we sign off today. Of course, we're going to be checking in before and after the NFC Championship game later, too. But stay tuned to our social pages as well, especially if you lose power. We're going to keep you posted online. Live in Murfreesboro, Johnny Mathie, guys, back to you.
Johnny, thanks so much. Get in, get warm, and dry off. Right now, we're going to send it out to Fox 17 News reporter Chris Knowles, who has been out in the elements in Nashville. So closer to the station here, checking out conditions. We have seen, Chris, unfortunately, a lot of ice and a lot of damage to people's property. Good morning.
Do we have a video? Yeah, that's correct, Jennifer. Right now, we are here just in the Donaldson Hills community. It is, just to be honest with you, it is a slick, slippery mess. That's the best way to put it. That means you don't really need to be on the road unless you have to. We've even gotten nearly stuck a number of times since we've been out here, and we've been driving with caution, and a lot of vehicles are just struggling to get by. A lot of trees are continually falling. We'll keep you updated with the latest. Reporting live, Chris Knowles, Fox 17 News.
Chris, thank you so much, and thank you to all of our crews here at Fox 17 News. We're going to continue to keep you updated throughout the day. One final check of the Doppler radar there shows us we've got a lot more to deal with.
It's still falling. You know, this has been quite the morning. All that freezing rain came in really hard early this morning. Now we're going to be left with extreme cold. Extreme cold warnings have now been issued. I believe
this was a Fox 17 News Code Red Weather Special Edition, sponsored by Sarah Chevrolet, Bart Durham Injury Law, and Frontier Foundation.